this is Allie. Thank you so much for listening to the Hudson Show podcast in 2024. We hope you enjoy these highlights.
Nikki, everyone should know you're in Florida right now.
Sure.
Has anyone there warned you about the monkeys?
The monkeys?
Yeah. I can tell by your reaction that clearly nobody's warned you about the monkeys.
No, I will say I'm in an area where normally iguanas have not infiltrated as much. And we have now started to hear about the iguanas being a big problem, but I have not yet heard anything about monkeys.
I wonder what's more dangerous, an iguana.
The iguanas are bad. They are mean and they hide in your attics.
Yep.
And they'll attack you. So especially if you're just out walking around. But again, those are new to this area. But what can a monkey do?
I'm seeing here that monkeys in Florida, apparently specifically macaques, rhesus macaques, they sound very delicious.
Rhesus?
Yeah. The rhesus macaques.
Is it a chocolate monkey?
That'd be a lot more fun than these monkeys, which can give you herpes.
Oh, okay. Well, that turned a turn.
Yeah. They're warning people that these monkeys are very dangerous, that they can give you herpes, and the kind of herpes that can kill you.
No, wait. You're getting worse with this.
Yes.
I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know that was something.
I think there's a lot of types of herpes from how I understand
And does anybody else not like the word?
Yes, that's right.
Just keep saying
there's less threatening versions of herpes, but they all are guilty by association because they all sound bad. But this one is herpes B. And if you contract herpes B from one of these monkeys, it can infect your brain and kill you.
So how does maybe I don't want to know, but how does that happen? Do they kiss you? Is it just hugging you? If a monkey licks you? How does that look?
I want to let you know that if you do contract herpes from a monkey and you tell people that, they're all going to assume you kissed the monkey.
The worst.
Yeah,
the worst.
They're going to assume
the worst.
The truth is that, I guess it's possible if you kissed one of these monkeys, if they let you, that could happen. But it says through bites, scratches, or contact with bodily fluids.
Ew. Okay, let's leave it at scratches. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful. Because for me, if a monkey came up, I'd probably be honest. I'd try to pet the monkey and say hi to it, but I haven't seen any so far, but now I can add that to the list of things to worry about.
It specifically says not to do that here.
Not to do that,
Yeah, do not pet a monkey. I can send you the monkey tracker that
so it tells you where they're at?
Yeah, how many monkeys are in your county. You're not in Marion County, are you?
I am not. I don't even know where that is.
There's 92 monkeys there. So maybe stay away from that one. I could go to, there's monkeys in a lot of counties, but there's also a lot of counties in Florida that probably don't have monkeys yet.
So you're telling me if in front of me was an iguana, an alligator, a monkey, and there's some bears in the area, you're saying that it's still safer if I go towards the bears?
Yes. I was thinking maybe iguana because they're smaller, but maybe bear.
They'll also get you too. So, I'll just stay inside. It's fine.
Yeah, that's the idea. If you haven't seen this video yet, I definitely do not recommend looking it up. It is a German man who has gone viral for all the wrong reasons. Video was made public of him licking public urinals and toilet brushes, as well as smearing human feces on himself in a public bathroom. And you're thinking, that's disgusting. But wait, there's more. It's worse because he's not just any German man. He's a German politician. His name is Martin Neumayer. But it gets worse than that. And you're thinking, how can it get worse than that? He's just ended his career, right? He hasn't just ended his career. He's ended having any friendships with anybody because he did this all while supposedly role-playing as Hitler. Yes, you heard this right. This guy has found a way to take Hitler and make it even worse. You ever feel like Taco Bell is so good it should be illegal? Well, if this is what's in your Taco Bell order, it is. A woman in Tennessee was just arrested after she was pulled over, and authorities found in her car a bunch of what seemed like Taco Bell burritos, but in fact what was inside was a stash of meth, LSD, THC and fentanyl-laced gummies, pills, marijuana, and it was all wrapped up in Taco Bell burrito wrappers. So obviously you can't do that. And look, having drugs, transporting anything to do with drugs, it's no good, but it does make it seem kind of fun, doesn't it? If like to be a drug dealer, to transport drugs, you have to roll up to Taco Bell. This lady was probably like, yeah, give me a dozen 5-layer burritos. And then her and an accomplice had to be like, come on, Jim, we got to eat all of these. We need the wrappers. We need them all. That does kind of sound like fun. But I mean, I guess you could do that and just not then put drugs in the wrappers and have a real fun night. Did you know you could get sued for letting your dog pee in someone else's yard? Not only could you get sued, if they did sue you, you'd probably lose. Because technically, letting your dog pee on somebody's yard, even if it is right next to the sidewalk, is technically trespassing. So if the individual who owns the yard can prove that your dog peed in their yard, they would likely win a criminal or civil suit against you. Now, granted, the type of person that can prove that your dog peed in their yard, if that's you, you're probably a bit of an unhinged individual anyways, and so I don't know if I would mess with you. But the other truth is that while you would likely lose if somebody wanted to go through the entire trouble of taking you to court because you let your dog pee on their yard, you probably wouldn't have to give up much. They likely only would win literally a handful of dollars, if that, in most cases. So that's the good news. Now, the bad news is if they have a sign on their yard that says something passive aggressive, like be respectful, and it's a picture of a dog like crossed out or whatever. Maybe it even it's so direct as to say no dog pee in the yard or something like that. That would aid their case, which sucks for me because when I see those signs, when I'm out walking Zafira the dog, and any dog owner knows this too, these people are underestimating how easy it is to control where your dog pees on a walk. But when I see these signs, if I could control where my dog pees, I'd want to pee in their yard even more because it just seems so like, what makes your yard so special? Why should I not let my dog pee on your yard? And in fact, if your yard is so special, you love manicuring it and maintaining it so much, if I let Zafira the dog pee on it, I'm giving you a project. I'm giving you something for you to do. You should thank me. Yesterday, Italian scientists confirmed they found a cave on the moon and suspect there are hundreds more, and they could each be used to house future astronauts. The first cave that has been confirmed, they say it's a sizable cave accessible from the deepest known pit on the moon, just 250 miles away from where the Apollo 11 mission landed on the moon. Man, they really know how to make it sound nice, don't they? Hey, would you like to be an astronaut? You can go live on a cave on the moon. It's easy to get to. You just go to the deepest known pit. Why does it sound like we shouldn't be sending our greatest scientists there? And instead, like, that's where criminals should be sent. You gotta go to the deepest pit on the moon, you. Live in a cave, why don't you? Something I was thinking about over the weekend, I was lying awake, couldn't sleep. I was thinking about how you can never just have all of the TV. Like, you can't just have all of the channels, all of the services. I mean, I guess maybe you could if you were willing to pay a ton of money and go through all the hassle to put all that together. Not only can you not have all of the channels, all of the movies that you want to watch, you can't even have like all of the baseball games for your team. This is what I was thinking. That the Red Sox, if I went to watch every Red Sox game this year, I could get an MLB TV subscription and that would get me most of their games, but not the games that are on ESPN like last night, which was fine. They lost. I shouldn't have watched that. But to watch that, you have to get ESPN, but not just ESPN Plus. No, you have to actually have like a subscription to ESPN. But still, I have to get another subscription because what about when the Red Sox play one of the 4 teams that's within a 500-mile radius of where I live? That's going to be blacked out on MLB TV. That's another subscription I've got to get. And then Apple TV Plus for occasionally when they play on there. And the Roku channel for when and all of a sudden you've got to add all these things together and still there may be things you're missing out on. And that's just for a baseball season. Forget about all of the other shows and movies you might want to watch. You just have to keep adding on and paying more just to try to get the whole thing. But you know what's crazy about God is that's not how he is that when you have a relationship with God, you get the entire package. You get like the very top tier. There's nothing that's locked behind a paywall or that you have to find some other area, some other avenue to get. You get all of God. You get God the healer, God the peace giver, God the comforter, God, like all of this, God the forgiver, all of these things, every aspect of God, the entire package, and you get it. And what's crazy is you get it for free. That's why if you go to radiou.com/free gift, that's why we called it that, because it's free to find out who God is, what he's like. You don't have to pay anything and you get access to the very top tier. Everything is unlocked. If you want to know what that's like, again, radiou.com/free gift. Find out for yourself. With me right now, I have Chris. He's our engineer. We call him Moneybags. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Chris, I've got a couple questions for you. Or the reason I have you here is, one, you're our engineer. You know more than anybody else here, I feel, about technology. So if there's somebody that I trust when it comes to AI, it's you. How do you feel? How would you summarize your feelings on AI, first of all?
Mixed.
I feel like we're all...
I like the idea. It can be used. It can be helpful, but it is not the end all.
Yeah.
No.
It's clearly got a long way to go. Well, Chris, I want to let you know, because I know you, the other reason I brought you in, because I know you have experience with this, is restaurants are testing out, fast food restaurants are testing out using AI in their drive-thrus. I have another restaurant here that's just decided to announce that they're going to start doing that. But we've already experienced this at Wendy's around where the studios are. They're testing out AI in their drive-thrus. For me, I don't have much experience with it because every time I go, I already ordered online. And so I just say, pick up order. And I don't even get to interact. But I know you have, because you've told me about it. So what happened to you at Wendy's?
Oh, goodness. There was this... Okay. Well, I'm cheap, so I'm just getting the very basic meal. The $5, 4 for $5 now, because, inflation, yay. Yeah, right. But, so I just order that, and like, okay, I like to have the biggie bag, whatever, Dave's, blah, blah, blah. And, okay, I'm just expecting it to ask me, okay, what would you like to drink? What sauce would you like with your nuggets? Mm-hmm. No, it asks... Okay, for your 36 orders of chicken nuggets, what sauces would you like? I'm like, I never said 36. So I just had to keep
two entirely other numbers.
I just had to keep saying human. Eventually human came on.
You'd like to order a human. Okay.
And eventually human came on, and they sorted it out. But I'm like, come on, AI. If you're going to be using it during, like, in a drive-through, mm-hmm. you should throw in a certain simple logic of, this person ordered 36 nuggets. Yeah. That's what I think I heard. I probably should send this to my human folk to confirm that this is actually correct.
Anytime you say anything over, like, 4 things, there should
be some auto threshold, auto logic built in. Because AI, guess what? It's just humans that programmed the AI.
You can tell Chris has thought a lot about this. So,
it's so annoying.
At Wendy's, now granted, maybe we should give them a little bit of leeway because they're testing it.
They are testing it. Welcome. You know what? And that's the thing about our city, where RadioU is headquartered. We are the kind of the test headquarter guinea pigs of the United States, I feel like. Well, I mean, we're the home of Wendy's. We're the home of many fast food places. And anytime there's a weird flavor, give it to the Midwestern Ohioans. Let's see what they'll eat. And, hey, look, they'll use AI.
I was also told this by Tim Hortons employees here, which I didn't even ask this. They just started going on. I wasn't even having a conversation. They just started. You know that all of our test stuff is here at Tim Hortons in Columbus. And that's because Columbus, very diverse. It's very representative as well. So I didn't know that. But that's a blessing and a curse. We get a lot of new stuff. We also have to deal with the tests that don't go well.
We're just the guinea pigs.
Yeah. Well, I brought all of this is to say that if we can't trust AI at Wendy's, how do you think it's going to do at Taco Bell where they've decided to start testing AI drive-thrus?
Well, how can I kindly say this? They may take the order better.
That's possible. I was thinking,
but maybe not. 36 chalupas.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I didn't say chalupa. I said taco. They don't rhyme.
Yeah. I don't want to be too mean to Taco Bell employees, but I was thinking maybe it can't be worse. But I had a good experience at Taco Bell the other night. They weren't the fastest, but they got it all right. But also I thought maybe Taco Bell's the perfect place because as long as they get the amount right, all the ingredients are the same. So even if they get burrito instead of chalupa, it's still the same things inside.
Yeah, it's the same thing, just for not fried. It's all good.
Maybe Taco Bell is the perfect place for AI.
Either way, you're going to the bathroom.
Slot machines are such a scam, man. You don't need to look any further for proof than this story out of Connecticut, where DraftKings has been fined over $22,000 after an incident last August where one of their online slots, because you can actually play the slots online for like real money in Connecticut. They allow that. I've been there. I've seen it. You can play the slots on the DraftKings app, and they had a slot that did not pay a single person. Like you spun it and nobody won at all. They didn't win 10 cents. They didn't win $10. They didn't win nothing for over a week last August. They say that a total of 522 people in Connecticut wagered a total of over $24,000, spun over 20,000 times, and not one received a payout of any. I mean, again, we're talking like they didn't even receive $1 as a reward, which really shows like you've got terminal casino brain. If you're like, I mean, that's an average of $45 a person that they kept spending. They're like, it's due. It's got to hit. It's just got to hit. It hasn't paid me out $45. I'm going to hit at some point. So now that was obviously now how it's supposed to work. And it's actually supposed to pay out 95 cents on the dollar, which is still obviously shows you the math is not in your favor. But they have now been forced to pay a $22,000 fine, which I'm going to say probably doesn't go to the 522 people that were playing a broken rigged game against them. But I don't know how it works. DraftKings put out a statement. They said, yes, obviously this is not how it's supposed to work. Of course, it was a glitch. If it was working properly, the odds would have been stacked even higher against you. Welcome to the Hudson Show Food Fight, 8772 Radio U here on Radio U. Today, we have the new Salted Caramel Frosty from Wendy's. It just came out earlier this week to replace that Pineapple Frosty with SpongeBob. So this is their flavor. They say for the fall. I think they're just going to have this all the way through the holidays, which I don't know. Is that fortunate or unfortunate? I guess we're about to find out.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. As of right now, I'm feeling positive about it. I mean, salted caramel truffle is one of my favorite like ice cream things. Mm-hmm. So I think this should be good.
I'm hopeful. You said you like Twix a lot. Maybe this will have a Twix
flavor
sensation to it.
Yeah.
I know that these junior Frosties, and I don't know if they do this with all the other sizes because I don't order them, but they fill them up so high that when you take the lid off, you are bound to get Frosty everywhere. Well, which is bad for doing it in a radio studio with equipment and stuff.
Yeah, I was okay. I didn't have any problems.
Mine is it's full, but okay, it's just full enough that it didn't overflow. Yeah. So I cannot squeeze it.
You're safe.
I also do have I got myself the Frosty Chino, which I actually have higher hopes for. Allie, you don't like coffee.
I don't.
So you don't want any of it?
No.
Okay, good, because I only got one.
I can guarantee I won't like that.
All right, let's see if this is any good. The Salted Caramel Frosty from Wendy's.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Better than the standard chocolate, because those are your choices right now.
Yeah.
It's better than that?
I like the classic chocolate, not going to lie, but I do think this is good.
I wonder, I have no idea if this would work. What if you mix the two and then you really did get a more of a Twix sensation or a Milky Way sensation from your Frosty? I think that could really work.
That could really work because honestly, I'm tasting a little bit of the like caramel now, but It kind of gives me almost like butterscotch type vibes.
You're right. It is almost more butterscotch.
I know it looks like that for sure, but I immediately was thinking when I took my first bite of it, or you're not really biting it, but
but you're not really drinking it.
But
either.
you're not drinking it, yeah. So when I swallowed it or whatever, but it gave me like Butterfingers taste almost.
That's a good comp. I think it's pretty good. I would order this again. I would definitely strongly consider it. I tried here the Frosty Chino too, and this is good. I feel like all the Frosty Chinos, it doesn't matter if they give you chocolate or vanilla or salted caramel or pumpkin, whatever. They all taste the same actually. Like it's just a sweet iced coffee basically, but that means that's good. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
When I pulled up to Wendy's, first of all, the drive-thru was AI. I said person. And then the person called me buddy.
Oh, really?
Is that and it was a woman. Is that okay? I mean, I'm not offended.
I do call my friends buddy a lot. So I probably would be a person that would do this by mistake, like to a stranger. Actually, I remember one time in college, I called one of my friends / coworkers buddy, who this guy's like 6'3", and he was like, "Don't call me buddy ever again."
Did he say, "Don't call me buddy, pal"?
He was not happy with me for that.
Yeah. Sometimes buddy sometimes it can be very friendly, and other times it feels very diminutive.
Right. Like, hey, buddy.
Yeah. It did when somebody when they're taking your order, that feels a little like they're looking down upon you.
Maybe they were because you didn't want to order with the AI.
Yeah, well, I had the order in the app, so the AI couldn't really help me anyways. But I didn't want to order with the AI. They're like, "Why are you giving me extra work?"
The other day I did end up getting Wendy's, and I ordered with the AI for the very first time. And it kind of reads your mind, I feel like, because I ordered a fry, and then it was like, "Would you like a medium Coke with that too?" And
How did it know?
I was like, "I'll take a large Coke, please."
It didn't know. It didn't know you at all. Medium. Any human would know. Allie wants a large Coke with her fry. I don't know about the AI in the drive-thru, but I guess I might prefer AI to being called buddy.
Yeah.
I guess. Anyways, the caramel frosty is good.
It's great.
It's the Hudson Show. I think Martin Luther King Jr. said it best when he said the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. It feels very, very apt for what's happening to Spirit Airlines now. Yesterday, they filed for bankruptcy protection. In a world of terrible airlines, somehow Spirit Airlines managed to stand out as the worst, her reputation as the worst. And now it's finally coming back to bite them.
I was wondering where you were going with the MLK Jr. quote. I was like, wait, what's happening?
I think, doesn't that sum up, eventually those that do wrong, they eventually get what's coming to them.
Yep, the comeuppance has come for Spirit Airlines.
That's right, where they are going to continue operating. The airline said guests can continue to book and fly without interruption. Yeah, well, without more interruption than usual. And use all tickets, credits, and loyalty points as normal, is what Spirit Airlines said in the wake of filing for bankruptcy protection. Now, the question is, why would you at this point buy a ticket for Spirit Airlines when you know good and well there's a chance that eventually they just actually shut down?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you're looking for a deal, you might not necessarily look too hard at the airlines or whatever.
Well, yeah, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, it's
and when you're
unfortunately true.
When you're trying to fly, it's expensive enough as it is to even fly Spirit. Forget about if you want to take some kind of stance of like, well, I don't want to go through that hassle. Let me pay possibly several $100s more to fly on the next airline.
Yeah, I'm just the person that's like, if ever I'm going to travel within the United States and go do something, I'm like the Midwestern dad that's like, fly? No, we're going to drive there.
Yeah. Much less feels like is out of your control.
Yeah.
Is how I would put it.
Yeah. And I also like when you arrive to your destination that you have a car. You don't need to go rent one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're, kind of stranded or whatever.
Yep.
So I get the appeal of that, Midwestern dad. I understand why you want to drive 13 hours and go to your vacation.
And if you grow up in the Midwest, driving long distances they don't feel as long as if, like for me, when I was growing up on the East Coast, where although I grew up 30 minutes from a grocery store, I grew up where like you could go places that were interesting and not have to drive that far. Midwest, not as much.
Well, that's kind of been like the false belief of I feel like Midwesterners, we feel like we have to go, 13 hours to go to the beach. But it's like we still do have pretty cool things that are nearby us, but we've been told our whole lives we have to go to Florida. We have to go to South Carolina.
Yeah, to bring it back to Spirit, though, the one negative, because, nothing can be truly positive, is that if they go away, that's one less, it is a lot less headache possibly for people, but it's also more money you might have to spend and less competition in the airline industry, which means that the other ones left can get to be just as bad as Spirit. And what are you going to do about it?
Right. There's no option after that. One of the reasons why they are filing for bankruptcy protection is because there has been increased competition. Mm-hmm. So if the competition does end up knocking them out, I don't know. Is it really better for the consumer at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's tough to say. You're a 93-year-old woman
okay.
in El Sereno, California. You've been hearing strange nighttime noises beneath your home for weeks. But you just think, it's probably animals in the crawl space. Would be what most of us would think, right?
Uh-huh.
Raccoons, maybe?
Raccoons.
Something like that.
Okay.
But the sounds just continue. They grow louder and louder and oftentimes seem to respond to your family's footsteps. Seems suspicious, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Eventually, of course, you would call the police. That's what this woman did, which led to a shocking discovery that it was no animal underneath her crawl space, but instead a naked man who had been living under her house for 6 months. This guy was a trooper, too. He refused to be removed from the house. He was unfazed by the police dogs that were sent to try to coax him out.
Oh, my gosh.
The canine units are no joke.
Yeah.
Those things will rip your arteries right out, given the chance. They also tried to use tear gas on him. Eventually, they did get him out of there. The family now plans to block access to the crawl space.
Yeah. Don't blame them there.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of charges this guy is facing. I do know his name, Isaac Betancourt, 27 years old.
Oh, wow. So he's young.
Yeah. Well, how old were you expecting?
Well, I don't know.
For a naked man living under a house.
I don't know what I was expecting. I was just expecting I don't know. Like, I guess for the most part, when I think of homeless people, I think of like movies that have like the old homeless man with like the crazy hair. And
I think that's because they can't shave and live such a hard life out in the elements that's what they just wind up looking old.
Fair enough. But yeah, I just wasn't expecting him to be, like our age.
Yeah. I you know what's crazy about this though? So they said they think he lived under there for 6 months. He probably could have gotten away with it for much longer if he didn't start tapping. Like they said that when people would walk around, then like he would tap back at them as if like they were talking to him, or like he was communicating back and forth. Maybe because living under a house in the darkness naked for 6 months probably causes you to go a little kooky. Mm-hmm. And so, he couldn't really exactly play it cool.
I think the going crazy part was probably a little before, you decided to start living under a house.
Well, that's resourceful is what I call that.
Okay.
If I've often said this, and I feel that this trivializes in a way the experience of people that are homeless. However, if I ever find myself in that situation, I've always planned that I will start walking. I'll just start walking south until I get to like a good climate like California. I would start walking to California because I just feel like if I'm going to be homeless anywhere, I'd rather be homeless there than in the north where it's going to snow and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. Although I suppose if you're walking to California, you'd have to go west, young man.
West and south, but eventually, I'm just gonna walk until I get to San Diego.
Okay.
Has always been my plan. So I don't know. The blocking the crawl space. Is it a crime? I don't even know to live under somebody's house.
I don't think it's legal.
How does it feel right before the holidays to find out we've been lied to?
We've been duped,
bamboozled for years by Lindt, the chocolate maker. They've admitted that, you have that image. I don't know if you've seen commercials. I've seen the little displays in the stores of that chef, and he's holding a whisk with the melted chocolate dripping down off of it.
So beautiful.
Yeah. And I'm like, does that really happen? I've always thought this. And Lindt has admitted, no, it doesn't. In response to a lawsuit that was filed last year, apparently a bunch of people came together and sued a class action lawsuit against Lindt that claims that they have heavy metals in their dark chocolate. And part of that lawsuit, as it continues to work its way through courts, is that Lindt has confessed that even though it seems like premium chocolate and they've kind of branded themselves that way as a cut above.
Yeah.
The truth is that they're no different than the lowly Hershey's or Russell Stover.
Yeah, they're the same as all the other chocolate brands. And it sounds like this is just a problem overall with chocolate, especially dark chocolate, where it will have kind of the heavy metals in it, like lead and cadmium, which are found in the soil where the cocoa beans are grown. And so it just kind of happens that way. But yeah, those commercials do kind of make it seem like somebody's just, making sure none of that stuff will end up in your chocolate.
Yeah, they definitely have presented it that way. I never thought about metal being in my chocolate.
Me either.
But I also, if anybody was going to keep the metal out, I would have thought it would be Lindt with those chocolatier chefs.
Yeah.
That they have in the kitchen carefully crafting all the chocolates. But apparently that's not how they do it.
Not the case.
I do like how it's a class action lawsuit. And I assume if the class action lawsuit winds up winning, we'll probably get a little chunk of change, literally change, like a few pennies we can put together if we win. But they have a group of residents from Alabama, California, Florida, Illinois, Nevada, and New York all together to file this lawsuit. How did they get these people?
I don't know. How did they get them all to get on the same boat with this lawsuit? They all claim that they were deceived by the marketing. And they were deceived into paying higher prices for what they believe to be high quality and safe dark chocolate. Is that really anywhere on the packaging, though? Like, this dark chocolate has no metals on it or in it,
Probably not. I don't know. Maybe.
So, how are you deceived by that?
It's just what they present to you. You know what I mean? Like, they make it seem like, but I don't know. How can you win a lawsuit if it's how can you prove any of that? Right.
That's why it just seems like it's like feelings, or it's like, It made me feel it was safe. It made me feel like it was okay.
Yeah.
It's like, did you really think chocolate was good for you?
In other words, Lindt is being sued because their commercials are too good. Their advertising is too good, and it's fooled us all.
Too convincing.
Yeah. Now let's see a cat do this. A wheelchair-bound man in Houston, Texas is crediting his dog for helping save him from a wild feral hog attack after his dog alerted him that there was a hog in the area by barking over and over again. The wheelchair-bound man, whose name is Carl White, happened to have an airsoft pistol nearby and was able to use that to fend off the hog. Firing enough BBs at this hog to distract it and get it to run away, which is a reminder to me why I don't play airsoft anymore. If it's enough to scare away a feral hog, it's too much for me to take that kind of pain.
Well, thank the Lord Carl does, because he needed that airsoft gun for sure to save himself.
Actually, that hog should consider itself lucky
Yeah.
Especially in Texas, that Carl didn't have something more. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right,
a real gun.
pistol.
No, yeah, this is interesting for sure. But I love it. It's like the dog was barking, and that's what alerted to me. And the hog was so close that he could smell it. Like all the details of this story are just so wild because I'm like, Carl, can you not see? Like, what exactly was happening where you couldn't tell? Like. That there was something amiss.
Yeah, I do wish we had video, but maybe, I guess it could be a situation where just the dog was paying a little more attention than this guy was, and who knows what else he was doing. So,
well, I'm wondering if it's because, they mentioned that the airsoft pistol had the LED light affixed to the top. I'm wondering if it was like at night or something like that. So that's why he couldn't really see a hog coming his way, but maybe that's why.
Dang, he says, the hog was coming at full speed, looking right at me and fixing to mow me down, Carl said. It's fixing to mow him down, but not when Carl reaches for his his LED light assisted airsoft gun.
This sounds like a commercial, like a commercial's like, have you found yourself in this situation?
You never know when an airsoft rifle could come. I guess it was a pistol, could come in handy. Reminds me too, like, this is Texas. What is the worst thing that could actually happen to me here? And it's not this. I mean, the worst thing that doesn't involve a person.
Yeah.
What, I could see a deer. A deer's not going to attack me. a raccoon.
Hopefully not. Yeah. Maybe, do we have any... I guess
there's just nothing.
There's not really anything big enough that probably would come attack you. I know we've got coyotes, but that's not really...
I'm not afraid of them. That's not... I could take a coyote.
What about a whole pack?
Yeah, I don't know. Do they do that?
Sometimes I feel like I hear them howling all together because I do live by like a park that's like a protected area.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be like getting out of the car and it's dark and I'm just hearing, the howling.
Yeah.
And it's all like the dogs coyotes howling together. And I'm thinking, stay over on that side.
Yeah.
Don't come over to where I am.
I think they're more howl than bite for me. I'm not a cat, so I'm not worried about it. I feel like there's enough neighborhood cats that coyotes would deal with them. Be more interested in that.
Okay.
Allie, we had something else we were going to talk about, but this is more important. I'm opening up the Hudson hotline.
Okay.
877-2-RADIO-U.
We were talking off the air. I was telling you that in my travels to North Carolina over the weekend, I got to go to possibly my favorite fast food restaurant. I don't know if it's my favorite because I only get to go so infrequently, and so it feels special, but I got to go to Cookout.
Okay.
Cookout is a fast food restaurant that it gives the air that it is like possibly the most unhealthy fast food restaurant, but also like it just feels so much like so home cooking. And you can order burgers and quesadillas and hush puppies and cheese bites all in the same place.
So just got everything.
Corn dogs and hot dogs, which is obviously important to me. They have everything, yeah, and it all comes served in aluminum foil and styrofoam, which is the way I like it. But then that led us to a discussion of which fast food fries So here's the question. Here's why I opened up the Hudson hotline.
877-2-RADIO-U.
What fast food fries can you eat without sauce?
Okay.
Because I don't think the list is very long.
Yeah.
So we can start crossing some off. We agree off the air. We said Chick-fil-A. You wouldn't want to eat those without sauce.
You got to have the sauce. You got to have something with them. Ketchup or the Chick-fil-A sauce. You need something. I feel like I would agree with that.
Wendy's.
No.
You have to have you need to Baconatorize them or honey mustard or something. Ketchup. You can't eat Wendy's fries plain.
Yeah, there's been some Wendy's fries that I've had recently where I've been a little disappointed in them, but I do feel like when they first launched these new fries that they did, they were really, really good, but sometimes it's hit or miss with them.
Yeah. Burger King, one of the famous ones.
Yeah, they're pretty bland.
They aren't good with sauce. Forget about without. Okay, here we go. We have Jeff. What kind of fries can you eat without sauce? Jeff is right. Arby's.
Oh, yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Curly
good
fries.
Choice, Jeff.
Yes,
That
we
is correct.
approve.
The curly fries. Now, what's your opinion at Arby's? Curly or crinkle?
I think I like the curly more.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
We've had other people come through these doors that have said the opposite.
Oh,
and those
no.
people are
Yeah, the curly just
completely
it has
wrong.
the right crisp, you know? It's like falling apart in your hand. Like, it's so good.
Let's see. Speaking of crinkle, Cane's fries should not be eaten without sauce.
Without the sauce, yep.
Susanna says Rallies or Checkers. Have you had those?
I have not.
Rallies and Checkers. I don't. It's a restaurant that's kind of like really not worth going to. But their fries are. If you do go, the fries are nice.
I have
nice
heard about
fries.
the Rally's fries and how famous they are.
But it you know what? It almost feels like they're cheating though, because their fries are seasoned.
Okay.
They're not just a straight up potato fry, a French fry, which doesn't. So I don't think that gets as high marks as like Arby's or McDonald's is another one you can eat without sauce.
Yes,
to me.
McDonald's to me is the number one that I would say is the one that if I was saying I ate a fry without any extra topping or whatever or dipping sauce, it would be McDonald's. That's the one I probably choose the most with my dollars.
Yeah.
You know, if you will. But doesn't mean that I like it the most. It's just the one that I more often get. But I will say, I don't think it's quite fair to say seasoned fries don't count because every fries are technically seasoned. They have at least salt on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deb also agrees, saying Rallies, and Shrew says, this is wild. I can eat most fries without sauce.
Okay.
I mean, you can eat them. It's not like if somebody shoves Wendy's fries in my face,
you're not going to, right? Yeah.
But do I enjoy them? No, not without sauce. D says Storm's spicy curls. You ever heard of Storm's? Me neither. Or Wingstop, which does have good fries.
Wingstop fries are really good. Those are also another highly seasoned fry, and you can get lots of different types of them. But I would agree, those are quite good. I just don't get them that often, you know?
Wingstop, it's almost not fast, or like it's at the line.
It's like Buffalo Wild Wings, you know, it takes a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll get us out of here on this. Five Guys.
Five Guys fries?
Yeah.
You like them?
Without sauce.
All right.
Although I do like them with vinegar. Congratulations are in order for people in Tokyo, Japan, where it must be very exciting for them because the Tokyo government is set to introduce a 4-day work week. Yeah. Yes, 4-day work week. I've long been a champion of the 4-day work week, and I'm especially a champion of the 4-day work week in Tokyo, Japan, for the reasons why they're doing this. They're not just doing it for employee well-being or just because you could probably, you know, get the same amount of work done if you did 4 10-hour days instead of 5 8. It just makes sense. But the reason they're doing it is so that people have more time for love. In Japan, they have an issue that their fertility rate is 1.2. That means like a woman on average has 1.2 children in her lifetime.
Yep.
That's not nearly high enough.
Not high enough.
They claim the birth rate needs to nearly double in Japan, at least in Tokyo, to sustain their population. It needs to go up to 2.1.
That's insane.
That's a huge increase.
Right.
Meanwhile, here in the United States, you know what? We're not far off. 1.66. You know what that means?
What?
We need a 4-day work week. Apparently in Japan, here in the United States, we've had a lot of pushback against the work culture.
Yeah.
I'll turn this off now. We had a lot of pushback against, like a work-life balance. Yeah. It feels like it's gotten out of control.
Right.
Japan, I don't know if they've had as much of that.
They haven't. It's been a huge problem. In fact, the sociologists have kind of studied this unique problem, not only to Japan, but also it's a problem in South Korea as well. And I think even in China, they're having issues with this because they had the one-child policy for so long. So it's a problem in, it seems like in Asia where the birth rates are so low, but they're attributing it to the unforgiving work culture. And also rising costs of living. Less people are having kids because it's so much just to care for themselves versus caring for children.
Which is definitely something we can appreciate here in the United States as well.
That is a problem across the board. So those are some of the main reasons why they believe that this has been such a bad problem. So they're hoping that this 4-day work week in Tokyo will somehow encourage people to have more children.
Yeah. Well, you think about it, you're like, how much difference can one day make?
Yeah.
But now you have 3 days a week to think about love. It doesn't just happen. You don't just all of a sudden, it takes time. And so the people in Tokyo need more time in their weeks to be able to find somebody to love and have children with.
Oh man, that's not where I thought it was going.
And I do think we need this in the United States too. I already thought of a lot of good arguments for why we should go to a 4-day work week, and I didn't even thought of this.
You didn't even think of this reason. Well, apparently Tokyo did, but I think
I just hope it's not too late.
Right. I think the main reason they're doing it is because it obviously allows for less childcare costs if you're able to stay home with your kids one more day out of the week.
That's a good point too.
Yeah.
Let's do it. This is inspiring to me. Let's get on. Let's get on this. Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.